Hello, this is Stephen Childs, teamfairness.com, thewayoffairness.com. It's the blog website, the original blog website. And we have this channel on YouTube, The Way of Fairness. I want to explain what's going on within here, in my mind, in my heart, emotions. The Gospel of Thomas, which was very beneficial for me in breaking free from Orthodox Christianity. I discovered Gnosticism, and where that led was to strengthen my atheism, which I was atheist after leaving. It's kind of been back and forth between atheism or believing and then realizing that I'm a believer in extraterrestrials that are atheists. So now my atheism is like rock solid. I can't feature it ever budging from this point. So Gnosticism is about not being taken over by unfair rulers, basically. Whether that be a god that claims to have all power or an entity. It's not a god if I don't believe there are any, right? So it's some entity that claims to have all power and claims to have created us. And it's like, I don't believe that. I think that entity is lying. So the Gnostics said that entity is a laughingstock for making that claim. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, as they used to say in the old westerns, the wild, wild west, where that was anarchy. There was no law other than who could shoot the fastest or who had the most people with them with the most powerful weapons. And death threats were the norm. That's where I'm at. So the death threats are coming from... It's weird. This is kind of hard to explain. And I don't know how much of it is a fictional story told to me by entities that are serving me with fiction. And they do that. And they're very clever. They're tricksters. And I think they're extraterrestrials. So if you go back to our history, they'd be called trickster gods or something along those lines. Here's what happens. The death threats are about me not surrendering. I'm bothering people because I won't surrender to the gang. And so they're telling a friend of mine that is female that if she doesn't surrender to the gang, that it might be a Muslim gang at this point, represented by an individual or a group, I don't know. Let's just play the game like it's a Muslim in this fictional story. And he says, if you don't do what I want, I will kill your friend Stephen Childs. Because I have a gun. And so she surrenders to this gangster whether he's Muslim or just a street gangster, whether he's atheist or not. See, it's the same thing. It's extortion. And maybe he's really willing and able to kill me. So this is like us playing chicken, two cars going toward each other, and maybe both cars run into each other, and who's going to survive the wreck? So it's a psychological warfare of who's got the most nerve, or who's least afraid of dying. So the Muslims are pretty good at not being afraid of dying because they're promised 72 virgins. And some of them are underage, very much underage. So I'm putting this I'm communicating telepathically with my female friend that you should just tell him to go ahead and shoot me. Just tell him go ahead and shoot me. Because I'm not surrendering you. Shoot him. And it's like her instincts are fighting against her strongly to not form that thought. It's against all of her instincts. And I'm like, don't worry, it's not going to happen. Tell him to go ahead and shoot me. Because there's power with me that he is not going to shoot me. He might be possessed by the devil. And it might shoot him in his own head. Because the devil will possess him and he'll commit suicide with his own gun. So this is what I'm thinking might possibly happen. It's one of the possible outcomes in this fictional or truthful story, whichever the case may be. See, I don't know, so I don't care. If somebody knows if this is true, let me know, and then I might care about it more. See, this is the way to win, is you don't care. The one who cares is at a disadvantage. So if they're going to kidnap my child and I'm tore up from the floor up, brokenhearted, because they took my child, and they want me to jump through their hoops, or else my child is going to end up in an insane asylum because they're going to drive him utterly insane with their gaslighting and with their torment and with their abuse, and I'm not able to protect him. So they're thinking this is going to drive me insane, and that way they get two birds with one stone, me and my son, or the birds. So, sometimes birds have more power than people. I wrote this fiction story that is fiction as a note, and it goes like this. We have the culprit surrounded that claims to be able to rule us with terrorism, with fear of God, with whatever. And we surround him and we are told to kill him. Because they will say that. They'll say, well, I was told to come and shoot you in the head. I was told to do that by the authority. And it makes me laugh. So then I end up laughing at them, and then they're like, stop laughing at me. And well, stop threatening to kill me. You make me laugh at you. You're pathetic. You disgust me. That you have no courage to confront the authority that's telling you to do wrong to people, like raping young girls, young boys. And you know that's wrong, to do something wrong to another form of life, let alone your own kind of species. They don't ask the goat for permission either. So we surround this evil one, and it's not even the Muslims. It's some trickster that tricked them. And we're told by a power greater than all of us put together to kill that individual that's causing all the problem. So instead, I just turned it around. So they're told to kill us. Well, we got you guys surrounded, and we're told to kill you. Unless, of course, it's always this unless, with the way of fairness, because we're trying to stop this insanity. Unless they agree to not do other people wrong, and we're going to protect them from anyone, Jew, Christian, Muslim, Shiite, Sunni, Bullwinkle Moose, whoever might be real in this reality that is going to possibly do them wrong. We will protect them from anyone doing them wrong if they'll agree to not do us wrong. And blah, blah, blah. I'm so sick of this. We forgive them for whatever they did, and they forgive us for whatever we did. And we agree not to do each other wrong anymore. And we agree we don't even care what you did to people in the past. It's secret, because humans need secrecy. So what I did in the past is secret also. So where did this tribal warfare start? It started way before there were Jews in Israel. It probably started when we were still in Africa and hadn't even migrated out of Africa, before Homo sapiens even left Africa. The tribal warfare was probably alive and well then. And it's within all of us, because we're all from the same root. And this is another thing that's ridiculous. They're trying to make people believe that they call it the out of Africa theory debunked. So they're picturing these pre-modern day human as being white-skinned. And this is absolutely absurd to me, because you just don't see it. You don't see that feature in any of the other great apes that have developed from the common ancestor. The orangutan is kind of a gray-black, it says. Their skin has a grayness to it. And then all the other great apes have black skin, lots of melanin. The chimps and the gorilla. And then with the humans, some of us migrated out of Africa and went north, and we needed more vitamin D. I like that explanation. So because we were wearing all these furs on our skin, covered up so the cold weather didn't kill us, we didn't get enough vitamin D. It might have made some of us a little bit dingy. I don't know. Let's laugh at ourselves, shall we? Instead of taking ourselves so damn seriously that we're offended because somebody gave me a hangnail because they invented the clippers wrong. So we should string them up. I mean, it's that stupid. So they want to kick me out. Everywhere I go, they want to kick me out. Get him out. So then I turn around, they're talking about my penis. They want me to get him out, so they can beat me up. I mean, what? What are they talking about? What's funny is they're still trying to tempt me that I'll want to have sex. And I don't. I don't want to have sex anymore. So, and they're saying, well, she wants to show you. And I'm like, well, that's okay that she wants to show me, but I don't want to be shown. if you've seen one, you've seen them all, kind of thing. A guy I worked for a while back had a t-shirt, "Old Men Rule." It should be "Old People Rule" rather than "man," because it's like in the mythology of Shiva. There's a recent development. He's half male, half female. And the Baphomet is half male, half female in Satanism. And the Gospel of Thomas talks about making the male female and the female male and this, that, and the other, all the one same thing. So you could extrapolate from that the Christ being is half male and half female, or androgynous. So, our mythology becomes rather clumsy at a certain point. So it's important that we'll put the myth aside, and what's the actual truth of what they're talking about? I think that's like the Avatar is actually extraterrestrials that come down from the stars because gravity orients us that up is to the stars just because of gravity. If there's no gravity, there's no up and down, depending on your definition. See what I'm saying? So they arrive at planet Earth from where they're at, and the myth that they create, and they gave me a vision of an entity that was a collective being. He looked like a bunch of people. And I knew his way, but it's not just a he. I'm being informed that the female was part of that being. So it would, it's like features from many different people into one person. And so that I would recognize that it was many of the people that I know. And I was told to don't become Jesus. To me, it was poison. I was shown crossbones. And so I didn't. There were people that were becoming a Christ, and there are people that are becoming a Satan, and there are people that are having contracts with aliens. And there are people that, when they do that, then they're aliens, but they're in the human form because they signed a contract or something. And then I was looking for the transporter room quite a while back. And I knew the building where it was. And the building's got the circle and the square symbol on top of it. There's like the idea of the square peg in the round hole, or the round hole in the square peg. You can't put the square peg in, or the what? It's all, the two things don't fit together. So they don't want me around. And I tell them I'm not around, I'm square. Because I was square shaped in this abstract, very few feature dream. Just geometric shapes. Because I could have gone through the circle, that was the girl, to get one to God, to be one with God. And I thought, well, then that would betray her, because I've left her to go to God. So no, I don't want to do that. So I just put that aside for now, and we'll figure that out later. And then later on you realize, well, these are just symbolic dreams, so you don't really need to figure it out. They'll give you a different dream to get you on the right track from here. So you can just kind of, everything in the past, put it aside, let it be there. It's not going to go anywhere. And want to know now what to do, or pray. The answer that I've found, it just happens on the path that you're on. So I was quite distressed after all these death threats and the guy's threatening to kill me, so the girl does what he wants. That's kind of what religions do. They get your kids or your loved ones into the religion, and then you're not going to be able to be around your own people unless you join that religion. Well, we don't have to put up with that. One of the things that really helped me, a guy taught me, and he had a book, he had drawn a lot of artwork in, and he was quite talented. And he was like, had some Norse symbolism, possibly Druid, some European pagan, pre-Christian mythology symbols. And he said it's a transaction. I think it came from some psychologist. And he told me in his own words that when they do something to you, you just accept it. Like if they shoot me in the head, okay, whatever. And then I get what I get, and they get what they get. So in that extreme case, what would I get? I don't know. Maybe I go to a really cool place. Or maybe it's just I'm not conscious. I lose consciousness and I don't wake up from unconsciousness because I no longer exist. So whatever it is that I get from me being shot in the head by somebody, because I won't do what they want, so boom, they just shoot me in the head, and now they get that, and they're still alive. And when they die, I don't know what happens to them when they die either. Maybe they go to a really horrible place. Or maybe they just don't exist anymore. But throughout their life, that goes with them. The fact that they have shot me in the head in this fictional story, and then their life will change because of what they do. So my experience is we're all being watched and tested. They're within our brain right now, and they're seeing what we'll do, and they're egging you on. If you have an unfair thought, they'll just cheer you on. Go for it. We agree with you. You're right. And they make a fool out of people every day. They try to make a fool out of me every day. So I've learned to not let them make a fool out of me so much. So I'm making a fool out of myself a lot less than I used to. So it's working. Have a great day.